Testing. Yay! Um, week four. Uh, a lot to do with sound, just in general. Mostly, a lot of it seemed to be about music and sound effects. That's what I got from it. A lot. Um, the whole studio where they like made sounds, that was crazy. Like I didn't know that they had entire studios for that. Uh, I guess I never really thought about how much effort went into each individual sound from like footsteps all the way to whatever major action is going on. Like, I don't know, two robots fighting. Big kaboom. Like a Godzilla movie. Like I bet a lot of sound production goes into uh, each explosion and stomp and destruction. I remember watching one of the newer Godzilla movies. I think it was Kaiju. I don't remember the exact name. Uh, but I remember the sound for it was crisp. It was so beautiful, but at the same time, it made me so nervous with how destructive and realistic it sounded. Um, I think that chapter did also talk about something that has stayed on my mind is subtitling. I personally love subtitles, whether I'm watching something in English or in a different language. Um, Something I do notice is that either those of older generations or those who have a harder time paying attention to films will love subtitles. I personally love them because it helps me keep track of the film. But when I'm watching something that is in a different language, I have the option of subtitles or just watching it in the English dub, I still usually go for the subtitles. And although it would be easier to understand the overall story, I think, as it said in the book, that using subtitles and the original language keeps hold of the exact mood or tone or exactly what was trying to be conveyed in that uh, country's culture or the way they express themselves. One of my favorite shows actually is originally filmed in Japanese, and whenever I try to watch it in the dubbed version compared to its original language, I can't get the same amount of emotion that is being expressed in the voice actors, and the wording isn't quite right. It seems like they're always missing some specific word that ties it all together. And I think it's because it's originally meant for those so fluent in its original language that they can understand the smallest itty bitty meaning to just whatever they're trying to express. Um, what else? Music. Oh my god. I personally adore music. I try to listen to as much of it as much as I can, and I am so happy that it was talked about this week. Um, I'm always paying attention to the musical score in films, especially on my second go around of watching something. Um, I'm gonna try to avoid soundtracks that where the whole movie is sort of aimed towards music, like the new K-pop Demon Hunters movie, or like any Disney film, um, Interstellar. Oh my God, the suspension that the movie gives you, and the as it's stated already in the book, how it was made to sound futuristic. Mwah, it's gorgeous to the ears. Let's try not to go for sci-fi. Recent movie that came out, an indie movie that I saw was called Iron Lung. The the sound, it's a horror movie. It's a psychological horror movie, but the music is it was so intense to me that I only started to breathe normally once the film was over, especially because the climax, the very highest point of the movie, was the end. There is no exposition where it goes back down. So you have to process the exposition. And the way that it builds up and gets tenser and tenser and then cuts you off, it made me sigh. Like I let out everything in my body at the end. It goes to show how much music can really influence the entirety of the film. If a film was filmed in complete silence, then it loses all meaning. But that's not to say that silence diminishes the meaning. In fact, I think it can give more, the same way it went from the huge climax to a sudden cut. I love it. I love music. Um, week 4, I kind of went over my 5 minutes, but yes, I love it. Bye bye.